So Summer Festival Week, of course, is kind of honoring the solstice, and this is a star turning week, our first star turning week of summer. So we will be turning our star from light green to that light yellow, and I'll sing our little star turning song. So if you're newer, what I like to do is I like to turn my star while singing this. It's the same tune as the Seasons Come, Seasons Go song from the September album, but it's kind of, you just do it a little slowly, more reverently, and it's just a sweet little moment. So our summer star turning song. Seasons come and seasons go, with our star we turn to show. Summer sun will gleam and glow as we watch the garden grow. So sing, turn, welcome summer. Right? And then you can also do a little seasons come, seasons go dance if you want. But we have lots of fun summer kind of solstice celebration activities this week, okay? So our story this week is called Summer's Day. So they call their solstice Summer's Day, just like they called Winter's Day, and it is Summer's Day, which I just love. I just feel like it's Summer's Day. I just love it. So this is the story, and this is a longer story. So this is 2 full pages, so just so you are aware, this is a longer story. This will be probably released in just one longer audiobook because of kind of just the way the story is written. But if you want to break this up over the course of the week to read section by section, this would be probably a good one to do that because it is a little bit longer. You kind of have the morning greeting of Father, Son, and Prince of Summer, and then you have the summer games later. So it's very much, 2 parts that you can break up for the week. So just little mental note that this story is a little bit longer, okay? So Summer's Day, what I love is that the gnomes tradition for Summer's Day is for the longest day of the year, right, the solstice, they wake up before the sunrise and they all gather together to watch the sunrise on the longest day of the year. And then they have this day of festivities, and then they watch the sun set and end with a bonfire. So for the longest day of the year, they get to be awake to see the sun rise and set and enjoy every hour of the longest day of the year. So it's a really, really fun tradition that they do that you can adapt if you would like to wake up early that day. So they wake up, they're all kind of tired, and then Citrine, of course, she's the yellow fairy, so she leads Father Son's song. And Father Son's song it gives me chills. It's so beautiful, and still we picture, eventually, even with audiobooks, I'm sure he'll add more layers of instruments and drums and things, and it's just a really, really beautiful chorus to just have Father Son rise on the horizon. So we start with Father Son's song, and then the Prince of Summer has arrived. We see his floating castle in the sky, which means he is here, and the sun and summer has arrived in full force. Now, what they do to celebrate is the Summer Games. So this is, of course, also kind of a nod to the Olympics, which I think is really fun and a really fun way to get kids moving their bodies and having fun with games in the summer. And even if it's not an Olympics year, it's just really fun. So then we get to hear the gnomes and fairies compete in their summer games, and it is so fun. So we get to see kind of the strengths of each gnome. Of course, Hamilton is really good at climbing. Wordebug and Morrison are good at throwing, and you kind of get to see the strengths of each of these characters. And then we have, but what's fun is that we have Hamilton and Eliza and Morrison who get to join. This is their first year participating in the Summer Games. Usually it's just been the gnomes and fairies. And so Eliza gets to compete with the fairies, the flying tournament, and Hamilton gets to compete with the gnomes. Morrison gets to compete with the gnomes. So it's a really, really fun, just like day of celebration of everyone's strengths, and it's a really, really fun story. And you get to see how they all compete and cheer each other on, and then of course they end at the end of the day, and it's just a really, really fun way and day to celebrate the solstice. So songs this week: Father, Son, and Prince of Summer. Really, really great songs. We do have Play-Doh again this week. We have orange Play-Doh, kind of just like celebrating the colors and sense of summer. So you have 2 options here. You can actually do this with hot orange juice. You might have to add a little extra flour if it gets sticky, but to actually make it smell like orange Play-Doh if you want, or you can just do water and food coloring. If you do actual orange juice, you'll need to keep it in the fridge. If you want to keep it simple and do water and orange food coloring, that's fine too. It'll keep a long time. So that's up to you. So orange Play-Doh, just nice, bright, summery Play-Doh. We have adaptations for there if you need it. Now, the next, our Living Arts Day activity is kind of one of those two-part activities that we're gonna start with these really cool turmeric sun prints. And then we're gonna take those prints. Yes, you can add some orange essential oil if you want for that scent. If you wanna just do water and oil and essential oil, you can absolutely do that. But for our sun prints, we're gonna make these amazing, cool like sun prints and then turn them into a summer bunting. So this can be messy, so turmeric stains everything it touches. So in these photos, you will see that we used our lovely, beautiful wooden painting boards, which I would highly not recommend because they all ended up so stained, and they will be stained in bright neon yellow forever. So don't use your nice painting boards. You can use something else, but turmeric does stain a lot. So turmeric, you'll need turmeric, rubbing alcohol, some flowers, a glass like dish, or even a glass cutting board if you can. So essentially what you're gonna do is you're gonna mix this kind of turmeric and alcohol mixture, and I've been talking for an hour. Your children are going to paint with their like turmeric mixture onto their paper, and it won't feel like paint, but they get to kind of paint it. And then they're gonna go on a little scavenger hunt and find leaves and flowers, and then they're gonna place those on the paper, and we're essentially kind of making like a photograph, like a sun photograph. And the glass dish is really just to kind of keep everything in place so the wind doesn't get it, but you want the sun to be able to get through it. So that's kind of what that's for. It doesn't have to be anything specific, but that's the purpose of the glass. Put your little leaves down, and then let the sun do its thing. And so the sun is going to kind of imprint those patterns, and then you're gonna take it off and you'll kind of get these shadows, and then you're gonna make a mixture with baking soda and warm water. And then when you spray it on, it kind of like a photograph, it like develops the image into this like deep, beautiful orange color, and it's really, really cool. And then the shadows really pop out. So it's kind of a science project. So enjoy experimenting. You can also, if you want, have them dunk into the baking soda and water mixture, but my kids love to spray things, so they enjoyed that. Then the next day, day 2 morning activity, we're gonna cut those out into a beautiful summer bunting. So I have instructions here on how you can take each piece of paper. You can cut a little guide if you want and cut little triangles, hole punch the tops, and then your children can use one of my favorite tool, the blunt end needles, to thread into a beautiful summer bunting to celebrate solstice. So it's a really fun sun print decor bunting, cameraless photography. Yes, it's a really cool activity, but prepare for the turmeric. It stains everything, but the output is really cool. And of course, you will need to do this on a sunny day. The print part you'll need to do on a sunny day, so you can arrange as you need. And then our baking day lesson is this beautiful, delicious orange solstice cake, which is such a fun way to celebrate the solstice, a cake for the solstice. So we have our ingredients here, and full portion, child's portion. A few of the child's portions will come together. I think, well, actually the child's portion is like 1 layer of the cake, and the 2 child's portions will be 2 layers of the cake, and or a few cupcakes if you just want to do cupcakes. And then we have beautiful, really yummy orange buttercream as well. We have your adaptations for those who need it. And then of course, when you ice it and decorate it, you can just be inspired, make it fun, use the orange slices to make the little sun and whatever flowers, and just have fun with this. Let your creativity shine, and the kids can help you decorate it, and you can then use this and kind of eat this as a part of your summer solstice celebration if you want the following day on day 3. So have fun with the decorations for that. Day 3, our last day of the week for Summer Festival Week. Again, we're using the power of the sun for an activity. We're gonna make sun tea. This is so simple. On a nice warm summer day, you can just fill a nice big jar. It doesn't have to be that big. It can be any size jar you have, with tea bags, and let the sun do the steeping. And just over time, that tea will warm from the sun and steep. And then if you want at the end, you can add some honey or sweetener of choice, or just have have that tea the way it is, and then you can make tea from the sun. So it's kind of a fun way for children to kind of, again, see the power and warmth of the sun into something that they can then enjoy. So sun tea for the morning. And then main lesson for day 3 is summer games. And we're gonna make summer games flags and enjoy summer games. So we have a little activity to make these little flags. These are just kite paper flags. So kind of like if you were to make a kite paper window star, you're gonna start with that same shape. So I have step-by-step here of how to make these little flags, and then you just take a stick and kind of roll the pointed part and it becomes a perfect little flag, tape it in place, and these can be used as markers for throwing and running. So then we have some suggestions here on summer games. Now this can be really whatever you want, but this is just kind of some fun prompts if you want to have, to do some racing or some jumping or some throwing. So if you're doing a beanbag toss, you can use those little flags to mark each little child's place. You could do soccer, you could do baseball, you could do anything you want. You could just any games that are fun. We have the scoring structure that was in the story we kind of laid out if you want to use some scoring structure. But of course, the first rule of the summer games is to have fun. We don't want children feeling like they're less than, and we want to just celebrate all the kids' strengths and really just get them moving their bodies and having fun with games and sports and all of this. So you can do hopscotch, like literally anything you can think of. Get your kids moving out in the summer, having a good time. It doesn't have to be like super competition focused, but it can just be a blast. So we have some suggestions here if you want them, if you have a group that you want to get together and kind of do some fun things. But of course it can be really whatever you want. So, and then, celebrate summer solstice, eat that cake if you want to stay up for a bonfire to watch the sunset, or whatever other celebrations you might do for the solstice. I know many of you love to celebrate that. So enjoy and welcome the season, welcome Father, Son, and the Prince of Summer. And that is the end of June.